Hey folks, Brennan from Bluelight here. Now today I've got a video for you which is directed in the main towards serving police officers, although those of you who are aspiring to join the police may also find it of interest. So in the in-service development cadre, this is a Facebook group of about 3,500 police officers who support each other in terms of their career development. One of the officers, there's a link below by the way, if you want to join it, there's a link below. One of the officers posted that they've got a job interview coming up soon for let's just get the title right. It's within the South Wales Police, it's within the Community Safety Department within Cardiff, so that's right, South Wales Police in the Vale, BCU, as an ASB Coordinator and Advisor, and wanted to know what sort of questions do you think I might get so I can start preparing for them. Now, one of the things I always suggest is that you shouldn't be waiting until you've actually got the job interview to start preparing for the sort of questions that you're going to get asked. If you're setting your stall out to get involved in this kind of work, then all you need to do is get hold of the job advert description, which I've got here, and the role profile, which invariably, as in this case, doesn't really help you that much. It just tells you that you're going to be assessed against all the different competencies. And they're using the old policing professional framework, which, as far as I'm concerned, went out the window in 2016 and was replaced by the competency and values framework. So come on, South Wales HR, get your act together. So anyway, it's the job advert that actually gives you the biggest clue as the sort of questions that you're going to get. So this is what I call interview hacking. And if you are planning on applying for a role like this, get hold of a previous job advert at the earliest opportunity, so you can start developing the experience now that's going to enable you to really shine in your application form and in your interview, because they tell you what the questions are going to be. So I'll pretty much almost put money on the questions being the following, based on what they describe the role to be. So first of all, it mentions on several occasions talking about multi-agency problem solving. So working with partners, joined up approach, voluntary organisations, innovation, proactive team players, ability to mediate with partners and members of the community to improve community cohesion. So it mentions these things several times. So my guess is there's going to be a question around problem solving, which will probably be, can you tell me about a time when you have worked on a task or solved a problem alongside individuals from partner organisations? So this will not mean that you turned up at an incident that needed paramedics. This is something, what they want to see is something that's more long-term, that you have worked on some kind of problem that hasn't been fixed in the space of 10 minutes as a response officer alongside other agencies, where you have problem solved something to prevent demand or to ensure that someone who commits offences no longer commits offences. Does that make sense? What else do I think you're going to be asked? Proactive team players. Can you tell me about a time when you have taken the initiative for dealing with a problem or an issue that you weren't tasked to deal with? So this is about you getting out there and discovering something and finding something to get your teeth stuck into and deal with without being tasked to do so. Mediate with partners and members of the community. Can you tell me about a time when you've had to deal with a conflict situation? Now, they're not looking for, so there's this occasion outside the pub where there's these two blokes fighting. They're not looking for physical conflict. What they're looking for is to see if you've got the mediation skills to be able to find some kind of middle ground with people from different backgrounds who may not agree on something or don't get along with each other, or even better if it's members of partner organisations that for some reason aren't tuned in and working together in the way that they should be. Questions about community cohesion, further enhancing the trust and confidence in South Wales Police. I think this is the sort of thing that lends itself to a forward-facing question. So if you were to be successful in achieving this role, how would you promote and develop a more cohesive community in the Cardiff area and Vale BCU. So what actions would you take? How would you do that? Because it also says that you don't necessarily have to have experience in this area. So to ask you questions about what you've done to improve community cohesion might be a bit of a difficult one. Although, saying that, I would expect any good officer who's got something about them to have done something during their career to improve community cohesion, because it is actually a legal requirement of the Equality Act for those who work in public bodies to ensure that they do whatever they can to ensure that people from different backgrounds get along well with each other. That would be community cohesion. People from different backgrounds getting along well with each other. I know there's several different definitions. I could go into community cohesion in far more depth, but hopefully that makes sense to you. So there you go, my friend. If you want to know what sort of questions you should be preparing for, I think those are the questions. It'll be interesting to hear from you once you've been to the interview, to hear how you've actually done and what the questions were actually like and whether they did actually bear any resemblance whatsoever to my prediction. So if you'd like to find out more about how you can hack this process and prepare for the sort of questions that are going to crop up, then I'll put a link below to the In-Force Advancement Group. This is where you can join like-minded individuals and meet every week for a 2-hour workshop run by me, where we practice the sort of questions that you are going to get. We practice how you're going to prepare for the application forms for the sort of roles that you want to go for, whether they're promotion or specialist interview or transferring to another force. All right, folks, hope you enjoyed this one. Hopefully you got something out of it. If you'd like to ask any questions, then please do get in touch with me, info@bluelightconsultancy.com, or post something in the comments below and I'll get back to you and I'll speak to you at the next one. Bye-bye for now.